I talk about the library the most because that's my job.
Yeah.
How long have you been there?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I've been there 21 years.
Holy
21
cow.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that's what you were going to do?
No, I interned there.
Really?
I did when I was in college.
Okay.
I interned there. And it wasn't my first job.
Yeah.
I went and worked for Capital Advertising after I graduated in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I was there for 2 years. And that was my first job out of college. And I didn't know that working 70 hours a week wasn't normal. But that is in D.C. and in advertising.
In the hustle and bustle world.
Right?
Go,
and
go, go.
my mom's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm just so tired.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do you do it? How do people have kids? I'm so tired.
Right.
You know? And she's like,
But it was legitimate
yeah,
reasons.
she's like, that's not normal. Most people work 40 hours. I was like, shut up. What?
Well, and you've been to Europe and they don't even work 40.
Right? I was like, 40? You're kidding. Nobody here works 40 hours, you know? So it's not 2 years I burnt out and I got pregnant with Tyler and I moved back.
Okay.
And then I worked for the American Red Cross for about 5 years. And then the library had an opening and they asked me to apply for the job and I did. And the rest is history.
Oh, I love that.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
Welcome to another episode of
Living Well Together.
Big Life in a Small Town.
Today,
We've got a guest,
we do.
which is way funner.
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Well, we do enjoy each other,
Yeah, we
but
have fun with
it's
it.
great
But
to
yeah.
showcase.
Joining us today is Christy Cox. Christy is, well, I've known Christy because of Fairborn Rotary.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is our current Fairborn Rotary Club president.
Woohoo.
So maybe we'll be able to get some inside scoop on what happens behind the scenes of Fairborn Rotary. But she's also the community engagement officer for the Greene County Public Library system. Welcome.
Thank you.
And she's kind of a little bit mild-mannered at the moment, but she has a rapier-like wit.
You're allowed
she's
to
well-read,
use
she's well-traveled, she is funny as all get out. And so we've got to get some of these stories.
I'd like to know what engagement officer means. What would be your role specifically? What does that entail?
I do government relations. I do all of our community relations.
Okay.
So parades, fairs, festivals,
cool.
all throughout Greene County. So we have 7 locations in Greene County. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have 7 locations. So if there's a parade in Bellbrook, I'm there. If,
Nice.
you know, Jamestown, Cedarville, Yellow Springs, and then we've got the big one, Xenia, Beaver Creek, and Fairborn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have like a float that goes with you, or
No.
Like a bookmobile?
We have a bookmobile.
Okay.
I am not qualified to drive the bookmobile. I usually drive the library van, and then sometimes we have staff, and they do what's called book cart drill team.
Oh,
Right. So if
Wait
you
a minute.
You guys did that at the Fairborn 4th of July parade.
Am
I right?
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
So you push the book cart,
Yeah.
and then they do like
Little
yeah, and they decorate the book
I
carts.
have totally not seen this.
They don't,
How
put
would I
book-
miss
they
it?
don't put books on it, or they'll fly off.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
They're like the little Shriner cars.
Yes, yes.
But it's a book cart.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, not motorized. I like
Right.
it. That is super fun. So that is part of your role. You set that up.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Yeah, and I make sure that we're at the Greene County Fair. We sit there for a
So
week.
it's more about fun. You're like
I
the,
have fun.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fun director.
Right.
Yeah.
She would have fun shooting rats at the dump. I mean, it's where she goes, fun's coming. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's the way it should be. We just did an episode right before, and we were talking about laughter being the best medicine, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I
you might
agree.
have fun as you go.
So tell us where you grew up. Give us some of just your basic background stuff.
Basic background stuff. Born and raised in Xenia.
Okay. Greene County girl.
Yep. Graduated from Xenia High School. Then I went off to Ohio Northern University.
Woohoo.
Go Polar Bears.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Actually, Goff is in Northern. I think he went to Ohio. Is there a pharmacy? Big pharmacy?
Big
school?
pharmacy school.
That's what I thought.
And when you're there and you're not in the pharmacy school, the other students who are pharmacists are like, why are you here?
Because I want to be a polar bear.
Right? Go Polar Bears. And then I went and got my master's degree at the McGregor School at Antioch.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like right here?
Like right
Oh,
here.
wow.
Yeah.
I love Yellow Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
It's
have
lovely.
we'll have some village people in here at some point. Well, I'm sure
It's
of it.
Yellow Springs Village.
But where did you
That's the
do?
village.
You were part of a youth exchange program in high school or in college?
Both.
Tell us about that because you've been outside the U.S.
Youth
as much or
exchange because
more
of
than-
Rotary?
No.
Or no, separate.
It was separate.
Okay.
I was not a Rotary Youth Exchange. But,
Okay.
in high school, I went and lived with a family in Australia.
Oh, wow.
And because their seasons are opposite, I could only go for a semester, not the full academic school year, or else I would have to repeat a grade here
Got it.
because it's opposite. But then their daughter came and lived with us,
Oh, wow.
and she stayed for a semester. And we still communicate to this day. The last Saturday of the month at 5 a.m., I get a phone call from Australia
Aw.
because the time
Every month?
yeah.
You cut. Oh my gosh, that is so precious.
Yeah. So last summer we met in Hawaii because it's the halfway point.
Yeah.
And we spent a week and a half hanging out in sunny Hawaii, having fun. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've traveled to a lot of places.
I have traveled. I got the travel bug then.
Yeah. Hawaii was the first?
No, when I went to Australia as an
Okay, in
exchange
Australia,
student.
okay.
Yeah. I was like, this is fun. I like
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And then in college, you did an exchange as well?
Yes. Our sister school of Ohio Northern is in Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, that's
know.
crazy. That's crazy. I'll tell you now, it's crazy.
Scotland is my happy place. So I went to Glasgow Caledonian University for a full academic school year. Yeah, and so I lived in Red Road Flats. I don't know if you're familiar. No, they did a documentary on Red Road Flats.
Oh, wow.
So, and they've torn them down since. The first 10 floors were low-income housing for families, and then the top 10 floors was where they put their exchange students.
Oh, wow.
Naturally, I don't,
Yeah.
So it was definitely an interesting experience. My parents came over at Christmas to visit me.
That is
And
lovely.
so we got in a taxi and we went to show them, where I lived, my flat.
Uh-huh.
And my dad refused to get out of the cab. He said, "No, you're moving." I said, "No, I live here." He's like, "You live in the hood." I'm like, "Uh-huh."
This ghetto is no place for my girl.
Right? I said,
You live in the hood.
I said, "Dad, it's fine. We don't go over the hill of trash alone. We go in pairs. We tend to not do it at dark. So it's fine. This is where I live. These are my
Yeah.
people. Like, this is where,
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? I'm not
Had you
moving."
you've already been there for 3 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
like, I'm not moving. He's
Yeah.
like, "Let me buy you a TV." I'm like, "Why?"
Let me buy you a TV.
Why?
Somebody will just steal it.
Right? Like, I said, there's a communal TV room if I get desperate. And
Yeah.
like, honestly, they have like 3 channels, like the BBC One, the BBC Two. And like,
Right.
no, I don't need one.
And think of all the things you did when you weren't watching TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you studying there?
Communications and public relations.
Got it. Which apply 100% to the career and the job you've had now for how long?
21 years.
21 years with the Greene County Library
Yeah.
system. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've got a son.
I do. Tyler.
He's living in DC now too, right?
He is living in DC.
Oh my gosh.
When I lived in DC, I lived in Silver Spring. He looked at 2 apartments that fell through and ended up living in Silver Spring.
That's
My
wild.
goodness.
Isn't it the world
Yes.
just full circle, right?
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you get introduced to the Fairborn Rotary situation?
So my boss, Carl Colon, is in the Xenia Rotary, and the assistant director is in the Beaver Creek Rotary. And so they needed someone to go to Fairborn Rotary, and
You book people are taking over the Rotary world.
right, right. And so as the community engagement officer, engaging myself with the community, I was the fit, and that's how I got hooked up with the Fairborn Rotary.
And you're also in Kiwanis too?
Yes, Xenia Kiwanis. I've been a member there since 2000.
Community service is
Yes.
a strong, strong commitment for you. Am I right?
Correct.
Why? Who cares?
Well, I don't know why. It just is. Like, it's always has been. I've always volunteered, and it's just ingrained into me. And I don't know what my parents didn't. They weren't volunteers.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right? But my grandparents were.
Okay.
They were volunteers with all sorts of things and enjoyed it. And I guess it skipped a generation with my parents. And
Yep.
yeah.
And look at the difference you're making in the community with all the things you do, because there's providing for women of Greene County.
Yes.
Do that. And then also New Beginnings.
But yes. New
Tell me about
Beginnings.
the New Beginnings.
It's a group home for girls in
Okay.
Xenia.
Yeah.
Currently, we could house 4 girls at a time.
Okay.
These are girls that maybe aren't thriving in the foster care system, and
I see.
but they don't need to go to juvie or anything. You know, they're not there.
Right.
So we're kind of like
Yeah.
where they.
Catching them before they fall.
Yes, yeah,
I like that.
And we've had
Safety
some
net.
amazing success stories. They're not all success stories, sadly, but those success stories just makes you. It's all worth it. It's
Yeah, it keeps you going, right?
It does. We have one girl who is graduating at the end of this year,
Oh, wow.
and she's been accepted to the Ohio State University,
Oh.
and she plans
gosh.
on studying education for special needs kids, and we're so happy for
Does
her.
it just melt your heart?
It does.
And you've
That
got
is so
two
special,
two
Christy.
special girls that you kind of have been mentoring for a while now, just you.
Yes, just me. I mentor 2 girls after school on Thursdays, and I've been doing it since they were 8 and 10, and now they are 14 and 16.
Holy cow.
Yes. That, like, you know, like, I know I'm supposed to be mentoring them, and I hope that I am doing a good job of that, but I learned so much from these kids,
Right.
you know?
Do they stay with you, Christy?
I pick them up from school,
Okay.
and I take them and get them something to eat.
Yeah.
And
Are they sisters?
they are, and I help
nice.
with any homework that I'm capable of. You know, sometimes I have to text Tyler if it's a math problem. Like after 6th grade, it's like, hey, Tyler,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a photo of a math problem, and Ellie and I need your help.
That is so sweet. I'm sure he loves helping too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's rolls his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, but comes through for you.
Right.
But what an impact you're making
What
on
an
these young girls.
impact. I know.
Yeah.
That is so special.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll do. One of them will be a senior next year, and then she graduates. Like, I'll still have the other one, but
Yeah.
it'll be a change for sure.
What happens in the summertime? Do you still see them in the summer?
I do.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's so special.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so neat.
And you're a dog lover.
I am a
Do you
dog.
do dogs
Dog
the same way? You
I do.
rescue or you foster or you just
I'm
yeah.
a sucker.
well, no, you just got a big heart.
Big heart. That's
Yeah.
what I was going to
Yeah.
say too.
Yes, I have 3 dogs and a cat, and they were all needed homes.
Right.
What kind? Do you know what kind of dogs they are?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do. So I have one who is he's a sheepadoodle. He's an Old English Sheepdog Poodle mix. He doesn't look like an Old English Sheepdog or a Poodle. He's the last one, reject of 12. Nobody wanted him.
Oh.
My friend called me and said, if you want him, come get him. I'm like, right now, I'm at work. She's like,
Yeah.
I guess you could wait till you get off. And that's how I got Hudson. And then
Hudson.
Hudson needed a friend because I'm currently working from home. The Xenia Library is going through renovation. And I thought, oh, Hudson needs a friend. He's going to bug me all day long.
Yeah, he wants to play.
with me, play with me. And so I got George. And George looks like a sheepadoodle. He's a poodle mix.
From the same breeder?
No,
totally
he's,
different.
He's from Halo Rescue in Xenia.
Okay.
And Halo, if you're not familiar with them,
No, I'm not.
they take dogs who have some behavioral issues,
Okay.
and they work with them on those. George is a thief.
Oh.
If you come to my house and you set your purse down,
Yeah.
George is going to take something out of it.
Really?
Yes, he is, and he's either going to shove it in the couch cushions.
So not your whole purse. He literally
no.
just goes in there
He's
and
gonna
grabs
take
something.
He's gonna either shove it in the couch cushions or put it in his crate or put it under my pillow in my bedroom.
To give it for you.
Right? And yes, George is a thief.
A
So
lovable thief, though.
he is. He's
Yeah.
super cute.
And how do they get along together?
They get along well.
Good.
They do. And then I've got Leia.
Uh-huh.
And she's a Havanese. And if you don't know
they're
Havanese,
so
they're beautiful. And she is gorgeous. But she's got issues.
Did you get her from Halo too?
No, I did not. I got her from Love for Canines, which is
Okay.
also a Greene County rescue.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what happened to her the first 5 years of her life, but it must have been traumatizing. I can't hold her. I can't pick her up. She'll follow me around and talk to me.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to be touched. You know, if I have to take her to the vet, she just cringes, you know, and cowers down like, hurry up, do what you have to
Yeah.
do. You know?
I don't know Havanese. This big, this big, this big,
She's
this
a-
big.
9 pounds?
Okay, small dog.
Yeah, small dog.
Okay.
She's little.
Are they the ones that have the really cute little ears?
Yeah, she's so cute. Yeah. And so she's mostly tan, but her ears are darker. So that's why I called her Princess Leia.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
That
because they
is
just
super
called her
sweet.
Foster, and because she was the foster dog, and I was like, oh, you need a more special
You
name
need
than
a
that.
special name.
Yeah.
Because they feel that, don't you know? That
I would think
animals
so.
do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
You
not too
animal
far.
people.
Yeah.
You animal people.
Totally animal people. And then what's your cat's name?
My cat is Merlin the Magic Meow Meow. He's a black cat.
You're living in a
Okay.
cartoon world.
That is.
I just
really
call him
cute.
Merlin for short, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, and so he was in my friend Elaine's barn. And my friend Elaine is a senior citizen and couldn't catch him. And he had 2 siblings. And she's like, will you come help me catch these kittens? I'm going to
Yeah.
take them to a rescue.
Yeah.
And my beloved cat of, how long did I have him? 15, 16 years had passed away a few months prior. And I wasn't going to ever get another cat because I loved my Oliver so much. But I was like, yeah, I'll come over. I'll help you catch these kittens. And then this little guy came up. He climbed on my lap and he rolled over onto his back so I could pet his belly. And Elaine goes, I think he wants to go home with you.
They might have had a conversation before you
Right.
got there.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker. So I took him home.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old is he? Do you know?
Yes, I do. He's 9 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still a kid.
He's
He
still a
is.
baby.
He's just a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super sweet. I know. Yeah. All of our kids have dogs or cats or a combination
Or horses.
combination of animals. And we've only had a bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
That's it.
terrorized
Well, when
of
the kids
birds.
were little, we had guinea pigs, we had gerbils,
that's
we had
true.
hamsters.
You're right.
We had,
We had
did we have fish?
never
We had all the kind of pets that don't make sound and don't chew up your stuff.
we did well the ducks. You
Oh,
remember
the
we
rabbits.
were raising
the rabbits.
the
would chew
rabbits.
up the lamp cords.
Oh yeah, if you let them out.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but
But
they
nothing
weren't
that
dogs or
barks
cats.
or- yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All the other ones that the kids could talk us into.
Right.
But they just stay in a cage.
Yeah. Yeah. Pet people. We're pet people. Of course we are.
And I love what you said about the community connections. Like that's what you love about living in a small town.
It is. Live in a small town. Greene County isn't huge. And because of my job, I am friends with the Xenia mayor. I'm friends with the Fairborn mayor. You know, if I need to call Representative Brian Lambton,
Yeah.
he's programmed in my cell phone and we can make things happen. You know,
I love that, Christy.
if I lived in a big city, that would not be my reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so my job being community relations,
Yes.
being in a smaller community
Mm-hmm.
makes my job so much easier.
Yeah.
Easier or just more fun?
Both.
Because I can see where it's not always as easy, even though
Yeah.
those connections are wonderful. And we'll have Brian. Well, actually, we'll have both mayors and we'll
Yeah.
have Brian as
I
well.
think that'll be fun. Yeah.
I've already talked to them
Okay.
about the
That's
same
good.
thing. Brian's a drummer. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about, can we talk about you had a fairly significant health challenge that led you again into yet more service above self. The Rotary motto. We'll get to the Rotary thing in just a minute.
Sure.
But can we touch on your
Absolutely.
I know you're not, in fact, you're kind of like the awareness person for that particular health issue. I'll let you kind of explain.
Okay. In 2015, 2 weeks prior to my 40th birthday, I was diagnosed with a meningioma brain tumor. I had no signs or symptoms. I literally ran a half marathon 4 weeks prior. I didn't have headaches. I didn't have loss of vision. I didn't have any of the things that somebody with a ginormous brain tumor should have. I got licked by a horse at the Kentucky Derby. I had an allergic reaction to horse saliva in my eye, and my coworkers convinced me to call my eye doctor. And so I was like, hey, I got licked by a horse a few days ago and I'm having trouble with my eye and I need some drops or something. He's like, please come in right away. And I was like, fine. And so he was doing, examining my eye and he goes, I think there's something pushing your eye out of the socket. And I was like, no, I got licked by a horse and I just need some drops and,
Yeah.
send me on my way. And he's like,
Yeah.
and so he's like, I'm going to go make a phone call. So he found an optical neurologist who was
Okay.
willing to give up his lunch break and see me
Wow.
because of my age and what he suspected. And, of course I'm thinking nothing's wrong. I just ran, I was the healthiest I'd ever been, And so I'm like, how many co-pays is this going to be? Like I just went and got licked by a horse.
Get my drops and get out of here.
Right. And so the optical neurologist sent me for a brain scan that night, and I had my results the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fast.
Very fast.
The size of
Very large. So it's a meningioma. Your meninges are here in the front lobe. It had grown into my eye socket and into my sinus cavity. So was about the size of the palm of my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
significant.
And no other symptoms.
No.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that horse probably saved my life?
The horse did.
It would have grown to the other side, and I might not be here had that horse not licked
Right.
me. So I had 2 major surgeries to remove it, and then I did gamma knife radiation. And so instead of about the size of my fist, it's now about the size of a quarter, and it's wrapped around my optic nerve. So we just keep an eye on it, pun intended. And as long as it doesn't try to grow, I should be able to keep the eye, and here we
That's
are.
incredible.
But then, as a
Christy.
result,
That's
watch this.
incredible.
Yes.
As a result of your treatment and your connections through that experience, which took a while,
It
you
did.
got to spend some time with students at Wright State.
Well, so because of Rotary, we had a speaker from Wright State, and he said, if anybody has a unique medical story, we're looking for volunteers. And everybody
that's right.
looked
I
at
forgot
me and they were like, do it. And I was like, okay, jeez, I can do that, I guess. I love volunteering with the med students.
So
it is so
this reminds
much
me of a Seinfeld episode.
fun. Yes. Like you can make up anything. You don't have to tell the truth at all.
What?
Well,
I'm
she
not
goes
kidding.
in. She's pretending to be a patient
Right,
for
and you-
medical student practice diagnosis.
Oh.
So she'll go in.
You make up your own symptoms, and they have a set of questions that they ask you. And I've got them memorized now because I've been doing this like 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So most of the time, the students are completely terrified, and I'm the nicest patient.
Yeah.
I'm so kind and sweet.
Yeah.
But if you're cocky and arrogant,
She's
not
going to
so
drop the
much.
hammer.
not so much.
So
And
do
in
you
fact-
make up the?
Yeah, and so the professors know me now.
Yeah.
And sometimes they giggle. They're like, "Oh, you have Christine."
Oh.
and Dr. Toos will be like, "I need you to turn up your crazy with this kid," and I'll be like, "Okay,
Can do.
okay, that's what you want."
So is it? Do you just make up even more crazy symptoms,
Yes,
or
or
just
no,
or you don't understand them?
Mostly, he tells me that I need you to rabbit hole.
Okay.
Go down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
They need to learn to take back the interview.
Oh.
They need to learn that they're, like they can let you go for a little while, but
Yeah.
they need to learn how to
They
do
don't
that.
have 2 hours to figure
Oh
you
my
out.
gosh, I'll get out my phone. I'll be like, do you want to see a picture of my puppy? He's so cute. Oh my God.
So not even medically
Right?
related.
No. And they can ask me something. I'll be like, oh, funny story. Let me tell you about this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And because of that, now that I've been there so many years, and these are first year med students, so
Yeah.
obviously they're there the other years, and they still see me, and they're like, Christine, and it seems like they want to have a beer with me or something because they remember me. And
That is really
Yeah.
sweet.
Community
Yeah.
relations
Yes.
is your game.
Yeah,
it is.
totally
It's
is.
my
It's
superpower.
100% your
Yeah.
game. But as a result of connecting to the medical school,
Yes.
we both knew of somebody who needed some help in the transplant department.
Yeah, actually through Rotary again.
Yep.
At a meeting, we had a member who made a happy dollar, which wasn't happy that she needed a kidney or she was gonna die. And I was like, and that was a time in my life where I was going through like, why did I live? And because other people who had been diagnosed after me passed away.
Wow.
And so I was going through that kind of survivor guilt, like,
Yes.
why did I live and they died? And it's, like, so-and-so was younger than me, and this other one had a kid who was younger than my kid. And why, most people live through this and they know what they're supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I was trail hiking with my friend, and she said, God has a plan, and I'm going to pray about it. And I said, you do you. Okay. And a few days later, I'm at Rotary, and she says, I need a kidney or I'm going to die. And I thought, well, I can do that.
Wow.
Right?
Well, no, not just anybody
Wow.
can do that.
No, I thought I had two, right? So
You
you
do.
can have one,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, sure. I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You can have mine. We were not a match.
Nope.
You were not a match.
We were not a match. I've learned a lot. So it's not just your blood type, but you have tissue types,
Okay.
which I didn't know. You have,
Yep.
So apparently my blood and tissue type is an unusual combination.
Mm-hmm.
So
Shocking.
You're
Right.
special. We know.
it's unusual. So it took 2 years
Yeah.
for there. And so when we did it, it was 5 donors and 5 receivers.
So
All mixed. Yeah.
match.
Yes.
End result.
So I donated to a stranger,
Okay.
and a stranger donated to my person who needed a kidney.
Oh,
And we
wow.
were all mixing and matching our kidneys that day. Yeah, 5 donors, 5 receivers.
Crazy.
Which is unusual. That's not normal. At Ohio State Transplant Center is where we did it, and we were treated like gold because we
Yeah.
were this 10 ways. Like,
Yes.
you're part of that group, and I'm like, yeah.
That is so because of the way they matched. It was like one person got one, and then but then that person needed another one.
So do you want to hear a
Oh my
crazy
gosh.
story
Yes.
about this? So at the end, if everybody was agreeable because of HIPAA,
Yeah.
if we wanted to meet,
Oh wow.
we could all meet.
Yeah.
So and everyone was agreeable. So they made us go up to some conference room, and we literally sat in the order without knowing it, in which our kidneys were donated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're like, this is so and so,
You
and
are
your
kidding
kidney went into this person, and your husband's kidney went. Like, yeah, we literally sat in the order in which our kidneys
Robin.
went.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Like surprise, but not a surprise, right?
Right, like we could sit
Yeah.
anywhere we wanted,
Yeah.
but that's how we sat. Without
I love
knowing it.
serendipity.
Yeah,
It's the best.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah,
Generous community servant.
I know, like
Service above self.
I mean,
Rescue
your heart is huge,
person.
Christy.
I mean, yeah, this is going to be a good episode.
Mm.
Tell us about. I know one of the projects you guys are connected to through the library is connected with Dolly Parton's organization.
yes.
Help us out with that.
So Dolly Parton Imagination Library program. It's for any kid age birth through kindergarten. So when you turn 5 and go off to kindergarten, that's
Yeah.
your last book.
Okay.
And so 10 years ago, the library decided to adopt the program, and that meant that we were going to pay for it. It's not expensive because Dolly is amazing.
Right.
So for $25, one child will get a book every month delivered to their home. Because
From
Dolly's
birth to 20.
no, for 1 year.
For 1 year. Okay,
For 1
got
year.
it. Okay.
So it's $125 for all 5
my
years that they're
gosh.
eligible to be in the program. Isn't it $25 for a year for all those
Yes.
books?
And they come right to the house.
They
right?
come right to the house, and you don't have to prove any income eligibility.
Oh my gosh.
Those pre-literacy skills are so important, and so that's why the library decided to adopt it as a program, and the cost made it easy for us to take on. We did get initial funding from Soin and United Way to start the program. And they were amazing.
Yeah.
Because they heard us talking about it for like a year. Yeah, we want to do this. They're like, when are you going to do this? We're like, when we have the money. They're like, well, how much do you need? We're like, really? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So how do they sign up for a book?
They can
month.
their parents can sign them up online.
Okay.
You do need a birthday. So
Okay.
if you're still pregnant, you have to wait till the baby comes
Okay,
and
got
have
it.
a birthday.
Yeah.
Or you can fill out a paper that, and bring it to the library.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 ways you can sign up.
That's wonderful. But there's actually a fundraiser. Is that what it is that you guys do?
We do one fundraiser a year to support it. And right now I'm in the process of getting all my sponsorships for this year because the event is in Tuesday, October the 1st. Or you can just come.
I hate to break it to you, but we've done it.
Yeah, you can come buy tickets. And so I do it at Caesar's Creek Vineyard.
Okay. So fun.
It is fun. And so I will feed you and I will give you a glass of wine. Tickets are $125. It supports one kid for all 5 years. And I have enough sponsorships every year that I cover all of my costs. So all $125 of your money goes towards a Greene County
It's
child.
amazing, Christy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Paying
Who
attention.
could say no?
We can put a link to this, right? We'll link this in the episode.
Tickets won't go on sale until August. But
Okay.
yes, they'll.
And can they get tickets on the library website as well?
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be on sale through the library's website or in any library location.
Perfect.
And we do limit it to 125 people because of the space out there.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Are there tables? Are people?
Absolutely,
okay.
yes.
So fun.
There are tables, and it's a fun evening.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
How'd you
I
get to
love
be the
it.
president of Rotary? I know we're getting close on time. How'd you get? Tell us about the Rotary. Tell us about your Rotary year. The Rotary year runs from July to July.
Correct. So halfway through.
So it's not a calendar year. Yeah, you're hitting the halfway mark.
Past my halfway. But who's
Beyond.
counting?
Right on.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's like I had to draw straws, and the short straw gets to be the president.
Right. So for many, so I've been in Rotary since 2012, and I've been the secretary for the past 10 years. But for years, people are like, it's your turn to be the president. I'm like, no, I'm the secretary. Like, I got this. Like, if I'm the president, who's going to be the secretary?
Right.
And so I didn't have to be the president for many years. And then they're like, you have to be the president. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. I'm like, I can't be the president. Who's going to be the secretary?
That's a legitimate question.
And they were like, Dottie. And I was like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. And I was like,
Ruined your plan.
fine. Then Dottie had to go and get elected district governor, and she was not going to be the secretary, but I was still going to be the president. So
Yeah.
We're having Dottie on next week.
fantastic.
You can tell your version.
Who's your secretary?
The secretary is Nikki Larson,
Oh,
who was the
got it.
president last year. And so
So she's
I don't want to say that I have control issues, but I was like, honestly, like, it would be a lot more work for me to train you on all the secretary stuff for you to just do it for 1 year, because I'm going to be the secretary next year after I'm not the president anymore.
Okay.
So we wrote down all of the duties of the secretary and the president, and then we're like, which ones are we both good at?
Oh, that's
And we
good.
just split them up. So it's
That's so
it's kind of a weird year because I'm still doing a lot of the secretary stuff
Right.
and being the president, but she does both of the things too. So yeah.
But it's both sides of your brain. I mean, the secretarial stuff, the duties are significant and grinding.
Yeah.
Right.
Detail-wise. Spreadsheets and numbers and accountability and
take
dates and
attendance
timelines.
and yes,
yeah.
all
And
the
then there's
things.
the president's job, who basically you just get to stand up and have some fun once a week and
run the meeting.
run
and,
the meeting.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to it. That, again, it's like any other organization behind the scenes. Things have to happen.
Yeah.
And then sometimes for Rotary, people just show up for lunch on a Wednesday and don't know the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, but you are clearly one of those people that whether it's community service or whether it is running your service organizations, you get those details covered. It's. I knew this was going to be a fun episode. What else do you want us to know about either?
How to get in touch? How to contribute?
How can we make your world better through our viewers and listeners? What can we do that would promote what you think is important?
I think that whatever you're passionate about, get involved.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not a library or literacy related. If
Right.
you love puppies, go volunteer with puppies.
Yeah.
You know, if you love kids, go volunteer with a kid organization. If you love senior citizens, those are your people. Fantastic. They need help too. If you hate people, it's okay. You can go plant trees. You can, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, there's something.
whatever you're passionate about,
Yeah.
just go do it. Make your community a better place than and leave it better than when you inherited it. Right?
I love that. That's perfect, Christy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. What a good way to wrap that up. And you said you've never done this before. Yeah.
No, that was awesome.
That
Here's
was
the deal.
awesome. Christy, thank you.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
thank you so much for giving up some time with us. And again, I knew this was going to be good because what we're shooting for is to take a community and help it overlap with other communities.
Right.
So the things that you think, say, and do are going to overlap beautifully with other people and other listeners. And so it's exactly why we started this whole gig. So thank you for being so good at
You're
it.
welcome.
It is our pleasure
appreciate
to
it.
have you.
It really is. Yeah, this was really fun, and I loved hearing your story.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
That's another one.
Another-
And you can,
Are you
as
gonna?
they say.
Are you gonna?
Well, if you like what we're doing, if you're part of the gig and you want to be a bigger part of the gig,
Yeah.
smash that subscribe button.
He's getting good at this.
Yeah. And then like and share. We've got a Facebook page for the
Yep.
for the podcast as well.
Yeah.
So share, like, however that works with subscriptions.
Yeah. It's perfect.
And
Thanks,
then
everybody.
Christy's people are going to know when she's on because we'll
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure everybody
Get a little sign.
promos.
She
that.
can leave it in the library near her desk. Although
Thanks
you said you
again.
work from home. Yeah.
We're there, right?
Yep, we're there.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. See
Great
ya.
day. So I think that we'll just have a really wonderful, diverse overlapping of people's stuff.
And just find ways that people can connect,
Yeah.
for people that aren't connected,
Right.
give them opportunities. Just kind of show them a direction that feels good to them, like what you're
Right.
saying. If you
Whatever
like dogs,
it
work with
is.
dogs. If
Yeah.
you like kids, work with kids.
Yeah, somebody will
You
take
don't like
something that you
people
just
at
said
all,
and
go
run with it.
hang out, hug a tree. I don't care. Just
Yeah.
find your thing and do it.
Involved, yeah.
Do
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Whatever your it is.
And that's
Lots
what,
of people don't know what their it is, though.
That's true.
And that makes me sad.
yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
not know? Try things, and if you don't like it, try something else.
Or you think they're scared to try new things? Is that what it is? They can't find their
Maybe.
it because of that?
But there's no such thing as failing. It's just learning.
Yes.
Right.
There's no such thing as bad, good or bad. We're all just learning. So just
Together, we're learning together.
learning together. Lifelong learning.
Yeah.
Amen.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Amen.